have a question here from Rasmus, who's asking, could you please go, so it's a question for you or for Jeff, could you please go through a very basic example of a bonding curve life journey, step by step, in a way that everyday commons people would understand?
Yeah, you have this pulled up, right?
I am getting it right now.
I mean, the first step before you, if you're trying to do this for a commons, the first step isn't the bonding curve, right? The first step is building a community to hatch a bonding curve. And so you'll want to, of course, like figure out what your mission, your vision is, figure out who you want to sit at the table. You have to really focus on building a solid culture of awesome people that want to work together to actually change the world, right? That's what this tool is used for. And once you have that critical mass of solid people and funding, then you can dive into the bonding curve. I'll let Jeff dive in.
Yeah, and indeed, I think it's also, the question is indeed mainly like, we can show that we have a simulation here that we're gonna show, but maybe start, if it's possible, Jeff, try to do it with like some sort of a tangible example, like what does this community do, so that people can really understand what this is.
Sure. So the example that we've been going with quite a bit is a trash cleanup community. So this could be a global trash cleanup community that is deciding to come together, and they want to pool their money to create an economic system. Think of it like the Uber of trash cleanup. So if we look at on the left-hand side here, we can see all of the parameters by which we can set up the augmented bonding curve. So the hatch tribute is how much of the funds from the initial raise go into the pool to pay for work in that community. We have the hatch price and the post-hatch price. That's the price of the native token, the Trash Hero coin in this example. The exit tribute is sort of a speculation tax. Whenever people leave this economy, they pay a small bit into the pool, and this creates a continuous funding mechanism for that community. And the vesting curve is a protection on the initial hatchers. We don't want people to come in, and obviously if you set the hatch price at 10 cents, this is when you purchase into that community, you purchase the token at 10 cents. And when your curve goes live to the public, it's worth 30 cents. So this all has some quite complex mathematics behind it, which you can check out in our Augmented Bonding Curve deep dive article, if you're so inclined. But the vesting curve is basically protecting that community pool of funds from people who want to just check out and cash in, more or less.
Pump and dump.
Yeah.
And you can see when we run the simulation here, we have some different outcomes. The green line is the price of the community token. The yellow line is the floor price, which follows the vesting curve. And the blue line, most importantly, is the continuously accumulating funds in that community. So you can see this community, under these initial assumptions, have raised just shy of 2 million DAI to clean up beaches around the world. So this is the power of the augmented bonding curve as sort of an economic cell wall. You know, if we're thinking of this in biomimetic analogies, we're creating microeconomies that are liquid to other economies, like a cell wall. So the augmented bonding curve is the boundary between that economy and any other economy that you choose to participate in.
Oops. Okay, great. So for anyone who wants to like go a little bit deeper in this, there's indeed, we have a Medium post on the augmented bonding curve, but that's very technical. If you want to try it out for yourself, this simulation, you can just go to commonstack.org/ABC and you can do this simulation for yourself. And there are more articles coming in the future. There's for people who are like just coming from like the commons context and are not a developer whatsoever and want to like more see what the bigger picture is about. We'll also be adding the link to a presentation that Jeff gave earlier and that like paints this bigger picture very well. So we'll be adding that in the comments.